Now I'm very happy to welcome back a fantastic handicapper who works on both sides of the window. You know him from his fantastic props over at mybookie.com and his great plays and insights over at Doc Sports. Very happy to bring back Mr. Raphael Esparza to the odds breakers. You can follow him at VSI Doc Sports. Raphael, it's Super Bowl time. You know what that means. It's prop betting time. One of your favorite times of year, isn't it?
Yeah, but I thought we were talking about Rihanna baby. I thought we were going to talk all about odds on Rihanna's baby, but I guess if we want to talk Super Bowl, we'll do Super Bowl.
I did see those odds come out this week. I got your email. I didn't look at them because that's something I would have to ask my wife on. That would be great for her, but I'm no chance for me.
Twins, no minus 2,000. So just in case you want to lay down some Twins action.
Twins minus 2,000. So yeah. Is it 1 out of 20, 95% Twins?
Something like that. But I'm a Twin. I should know that stat.
Yeah, you should. Jesus, man, putting odds on it and you don't even know why you're a Twin. What's wrong with you? Well, I hope you're doing well, man. It's a lot of craziness going on in the sports betting world, and I always love this segment with you. We talk about some of the props and some of the fun stuff you've been up to. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what you've been doing?
Props, and more props. It's pretty much what it is. I know my bookie's trying to do 2,000 props this year, so it should be very interesting. How close we get. I think the halftime show gave us a little bit more props, and we're probably still going to add to that. I think now a lot of big wigs coming in, buying commercial ads, not like we saw last year where like Budweiser and a lot of those big ones, they instead of buying their ads, they donated it to charities and stuff like that. We'll probably see them go back in, so that's we can be able to do a little bit more commercials. So I think it's possible we can hit close or around that 2,000. But like I said, this is my fun time. Like I said, I do Zoom meetings and phone calls and text messages, and it's a lot of research and stupid stuff off the air. Like I said, we discussed UFC 271, and probably do some prop bets with the Super Bowl on that. So it's fun times.
Can't wait to look at those. As you know, I love the UFC. But hey, man, before we get into that, do you have any thoughts on the side or the total of this game? And we have about 4.5, 4. It's 4 on my bookie. I see 4s and 4.5 all over the marketplace. Looking at about 48.5 for a total. That thing kind of crept down a little bit. I think the books kind of threw out 50 earlier and said, "Hey, does it cross the key number of 51 or does it go down?" Well, it's moving down. But any thoughts on that?
I'm actually shocked that the total went down. I mean, maybe I'm biased because when I'm grading prop bets, because I don't drink during Super Bowl and I try to sneak food in because I'm grading the same time as I'm watching. Who wants to watch a 10-6 game or a 21-10 game? So I would love to see a high-scoring game where both QBs are throwing touchdown passes or defensive scoring TDs, kickoff return. I want that kind of stuff for a Super Bowl. So I'm a little bit shocked that it dropped down to 48. I thought it'd open up at 50. I thought it would hang around there. Maybe see, like you said, a 51 or a 50.5. But money came in quickly on the under, and I talked to multiple shops saying one of the bigger bets that they received right when they posted that number was on the under, besides Ram Action. Of course, Ram Action came in because that's the first team. That was the last team that played on Conference Sunday, which you're always going to get that action right away. But a little bit shocked in the total. So I'm hoping it stays 48, or please bet to continue with more money. I would love to see 47, 47.5. I'm leaning towards the over right now.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so your thoughts are leaning towards the over. It's concerning for me, too, to see sharper action on the under, because the rule was always for sharper people to take your under late and you take your over early. And now it's like they see a number and it teases you. It says, oh, it's not 51, but it could be. And they still take the under. So that makes me wonder if maybe these prop bets are going to work the same. It's a big head scratcher for me this year, because I almost think that the public are going to, the public's a little bit more advanced, let's admit, than they were 20 years ago. Maybe they're saying this Rams defense is going to lock them up, and it's going to be a methodical game like we've seen in the last two games, really.
That's what I'm leaning towards. That's why I took Sam Darnold to win MVP at 8-1. If he gets, let's say, 2.5 sacks, maybe a fumble return, let's say the fat man runs, gets a touchdown. I'm sorry, Matthew Stafford. I still close my eyes and you have a Detroit Lions jersey on. Give it to Sam Darnold, who's going to be the best athlete on the field on both sides. So I love me some 8-1 for Sam Darnold to win MVP.
Aaron Donald?
Oh, I'm sorry, Aaron Donald. Why did he say
does his brother play?
That's his little brother. That's his little brother. He's dominating Pee Wee football right now.
Is it down to 8-1? I thought I saw 16-1, 18-1.
Last time I saw, I think last night was plus 750 around different shops. So we're seeing. I can't remember if I saw double digits or not, but I like mine in at 8-1.
Look at that, man! A play already on the Super Bowl MVP. That is fantastic. Yep, 7.5-1 on my bookie. So shop it around, of course, if you like that. I've got a little different angle on that one that's not far from yours, and I'll get into that when it comes time. But no, good call on that. Sounds like you're thinking defense as well. Interesting. I would wonder if their defense is going to score too. That's always been a popular prop. First touchdown of the game. Maybe it's the Rams defense, 28-1, right?
I can guarantee you that would not be good for any book because you know that for a better that everyone will bet that. So that's probably not good for any book if that happens.
I think the odds ain't bad on that one, to be honest with you.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, I think that's actually not too sharp, not too public of a square of a play. I would say it's probably good. I'm wondering how far down that's going to go. I bet it goes down. Awesome. Well, it sounds like you kind of lean to the over a little bit. Kind of you have that smaller play on Aaron Donald. Let's get into some of the crazier props that my bookie is offering right now, pertaining to, you can say, the Super Bowl or anything else.
Yeah, the halftime show is very curious young folk. I mean, let's face it, that's my era when I was in high school watching Eminem go on there, Snoop Dogg and stuff like that. So I'm a little bit excited for the halftime show. I'm not can't wait jacked up for it. I've been jacked up for other halftime shows, but with that many people being in there, it gave me a lot of leeway to think of some crazy and different prop bets, which we'll be adding more throughout the week. I think I'm adding 2 more today when I get off the line. Like, will Eminem come out with a Matthew Stafford Detroit Lion jersey? Hey, they're both representing Detroit, so why not? That'd be an interesting atmosphere if that came out.
That one's up already. That you put that up already.
Is it live? I don't know if that's live already. I thought that is it. I sent it in.
I saw it this morning.
Oh, okay. Well then. Breaking news. I guess I should refresh my screen, but that should be like I said, those are kind of ones that I'm glad that the halftime is that big of a draw of multiple people. We already know now. Could we see more people on there? That could be very interesting. But next, what will be the first song at halftime is always fun. Next episode by Snoop Dogg, of course, is I think 4-1 last time I checked. So who will be the first one to speak? It's got to be Dr. Dre. I mean, for the young ones that's out there, but it was fun. Like I said, knowing all these people and doing the halftime stuff is always fun. Can't wait to do the commercial odds and the next couple of days, head-to-head matchups. What commercial will be first? All that kind of stuff. So it'll be actually fun to do all that. So it's like I said, this is if you're just a prop bettor, this is your time. I mean, I know people now, and I'm sure you do, that don't even bet games now. They just bet player prop bets and stuff like that. So this is the creme of the creme if you're just a prop bettor.
Absolutely is. And it's so funny. I've seen a lot of memes already that as soon as Eminem gets out there and Snoop Dogg, us people in our 40s are going to be tilting our hat like this and throwing up some signs. Yeah, like we were back in the day. I think they used B-Rad from that one parody movie, that white rapper dude. Kind of a spin-off of Eminem.
8 Mile.
Yeah, and they used him as the meme. I cracked up.
You know what? You just made me think of another prop bet. Will someone call Eminem Rabbit because that was his name in the 8 Mile? during broadcast. So
Let's
maybe
keep it going, man. Keep it going. I
that's
like
the
the way
prop
you're
gets
thinking.
Mr. Kev O'Neill right there. He gave me a prop idea that would be posted sometime in the next 24 hours.
What about my other one I gave you last time we talked about? I think I said the number of times that Eminem will say something insensitive or profane.
I thought we had one up there already. Well, how many?
You did one similar. It's the
Yeah,
amount of swearing.
yeah. I think that's probably the reason why I left yours out there, because we had one out there. So yeah, maybe I'll think about putting that one as well on there. But I can guarantee you something's being bleeped. And I guarantee you that.
Yeah. So, who would be the one to say rabbit though? The announcers? You know, Chris Collinsworth, or who would?
Oh, that'd be fantastic with Chris Collinsworth.
It won't, but I'm just saying, like, who would be the one to say that? I'm trying to think of how the prop would be obviously built. So that's interesting. All right. Well, what's some of the newer ones you got up this year? And I know it's always new with a halftime show. Is there anything new that's like, you know, how many flips will the coin make when I'm talking or something? I'm just
we did put up some different coin toss ones up with that we've normally done that other shops did with a winner of the coin toss win the game, stuff like that.
And by the way, thank you for making it minus 101 this year. It's that's, you know, just about where it should be.
I agree. I agree that's more. A lot of people always complain about limits and stuff like that. And you know me, I just do the odds. I don't control limits. I don't control how much it takes. They don't pay me for that. They don't pay me enough for that. So that one, team to choose it correct is another one that we normally don't do. That I think a lot of people, and that's minus 105 for the coin toss. I'm trying to think of a little bit more for the coin toss on that one. So I got a lot of research. Luckily, I have another week. I mean, so because right now, every odds maker, every sports book, they're just trying to knock out all the player prop bets, you know, all the same ones that's every book will have. Next week is when you really concentrate. Okay, who can roll dice? Who can be that one that's hitting social media? Like, I can't believe they posted this one.
Yes,
that's gonna be my challenge next week. How can I toe that line and not be obscene and stuff like that? So I'm still looking at some coin toss ones to add on that one. So it's gonna be interesting because you always want to be that person to shock and awe and trend the week of the Super Bowl.
I'll help you think, my man. I will see if I can come up with anything else besides rabbit for that one. No, that's, and you know, it's funny. Yeah, obviously the limits are low. I can't get enough down on, you know, the smaller ones here, so I just put max I could. But I'm going to get into a few of these, and here's the thing. Let's talk about a couple of your crazy halftime ones. Will Mary J. Blige have cleavage showing in this halftime show? You have the no at plus 200. Okay. I think you have the yes at minus 300. I have to go back to it.
Yes.
But I think there's a 50-50 shot she doesn't have it. I mean, that's value right there for me. I'm thinking about taking the no. I mean, you know, it's going to be nighttime. It's not going to be the warmest place in the world, I don't think.
I could see that. I mean, like, I can't remember who sang the national anthem last year, but we had that, and she didn't have any cleavage, and everyone bet the yes on that one. So I can see why the no at 2-1 looks very enticing, just because now we didn't put that up there for J-Lo and Shakira because doing a halftime show, because that was easily both of them had cleavage. But my favorite prop bet, will any of them show any butt cleavage on last year's halftime show, which got a lot of positive and negative stuff. So like that was trending last year. But I can see the 2-1 being, I would say no if she was singing the national anthem. That's because you want to be respected and stuff like that. You always come off a power suit on, something like that. It's halftime. I'm thinking Mary J. Blige has the puppies out.
You think she got the puppies out? Okay, so what constitutes cleavage? Without getting too descriptive here, you know, this is PG here. What constitutes cleavage?
I think if you put a coin in there and pull the arm down and it goes down like a slot machine, that is cleavage in my book.
All right, all right. If you can put a coin in there, that's cleavage. Well, that's interesting. We'll have to make sure we fight about that later. So, I'm going with no, and we'll see if we'll see how far it goes. She's not the youngest anymore. I'm not saying she's bad looking by any means, but I don't know. 2-1. I kind of like that one. Unless you got some insight for information, you can kick me later. There is the way these props are, kind of created here. It almost feels like there is inside information, and that's why I want to ask you this one. Why is Snoop Dogg's shoes being the favorite at blue in this one? Why is that?
He's an LA guy. Maybe he's probably going to be cheering for the Rams. I don't see him cheering for the Bengals. So I would say that's probably one of the main. I mean, it's -110, so it's not like we're going to get crowded. And I would think white and blue would be my kind of choice if I was going to put my coinage down on it. I don't think it's going to be yellow. I don't think it's going to be black. I can't remember last time I saw Snoop Dogg in an all black a gym shoe. I actually went back and watched some of his show last year. Was it the big that show was on TBS where he judges? I can't think. Is it the Big Show? That's what it is, the Big Show. And I watched I think 4 episodes, and he did not have not one solid black a shoe on. It was always different colors and stuff like that. So I would say my guess, blue and white would be probably what I would probably look at. I don't see yellow.
All right, blue and white. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I was wondering why would not black be the favorite? But that's a good enough answer. But it kind of ties to a look that I was thinking about betting. Is he going to wear Rams clothing in this? Because you think, yes, it's a home game ish because of the Rams, but it's also the Super Bowl. I mean, does he want to bring all that hate to Cincinnati right now? And by wearing the Rams in what's supposedly a neutral type game, even though it fell into their stadium for the first time second time actually it's ever happened. Tampa was last year it happened. So I kind of like to know on that at +250, Ralph.
I kind of do, but he's a big Steelers fan, and there's no way he's going to wear a Bengals fan jersey if he's a Steelers fan because they play in the same division. So that's why we kind of went back and forth on that one. There's multiple interviews with him of old Steeler jerseys on. He's a big Franco Harris fan. So there's some old stuff on that one. I would not be shocked if it's another jersey, but I just don't see him wearing a Bengals jersey at all. So, but at +250, I can totally see he's got so many different options to wear. That'd be great if he came off like his Laker jersey on. If it was Ice Cube, he's wearing a Raiders jersey.
Yeah, is there any LA arena teams that he might support or something? You got to think to yourself, he is a big football guy, right? Mm-hmm. So I just wonder if he's going to support UCLA maybe or USC or something like that. It's just to pick a side in that, it just seems a little bit far-fetched to me. So the +250 isn't bad. It's not like I can't get too much down on it anyway. So
Snoop Dogg, he's probably a big Odell fan. I would not be if he does have a Ram jersey, which maybe I'll put that up with Ram jersey.
All right.
I would have Odell would be my favorite.
Odell Beckham. Okay, yeah, he might be an Odell fan. Well, he is an Odell fan, but he might be wearing that jersey. That is interesting. Okay. I mean, what else would they wear? Hoodies? I mean, what kind of concert? It's not like they're going to be wearing tuxedos, right?
Yeah. Maybe Eminem might have a hoodie on. He likes to. He doesn't like to show his arms that often, so he's. I would not be shocked if he's got a hoodie on. But it's LA. Why would you want to wear a hoodie in LA? Well, I can see what the temperature is for SoFi Stadium.
I would too. I actually already looked at that. It's actually going to be a nice day in LA. Now, this is obviously 10 days away, but it said 77. So, figure that one out. I don't know. It's probably going to be nice there. And maybe a hoodie would be too hot. Maybe it would have to be a custom made type situation for them. But you can't imagine he's not going to be wearing something that looks like Eminem and what they kind of represented back in the day.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting stuff talking about these props, man. Well, let's get into another weird one. What do you know about this flyover here? I saw some odds on it. What do you know, Raph?
I'm not gonna say I did not do that. So someone did, and they said they did research that. So I respect his opinion on that one. So I think it's set a little bit off. But why wouldn't they not fly there? They always do a lot of stuff in California. What I understood in that kind
Well, it was the number of planes in the flyover is what I saw, right? And I think it was over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Over under 4.5 for the national anthem. Yeah, over under 4.5.
And I would have picked the over normally because it's usually 5 planes in situations like this. One in the top, like a triangle, right? 3 is a little weak for a Super Bowl. It'd be weird if one would have to be broke down if you thought it was before. I guess they can do a diamond. But then again, I looked at Heritage Airlines or Heritage Flying Group. It's some sort of club, I believe, is going to be doing this. And they have a bunch of old planes. They have historic stuff. So being the degenerate that I am, I emailed them this morning to find out how many planes are going to die. I'm not sure if they're going to respond to me, but
inside information. I'm calling Martha Stewart.
I did check on it, but I don't know if I might have to make a phone call next if they don't get back to me soon enough here before you guys, get turned on to the right answer here, because we don't want that. We want to find some value here.
I agree.
All right, man. So next one that's interesting to me is this Gatorade thing. And I lost last year because why the hell was Tampa Bay having blue Gatorade when orange is the best tasting and they have orange jerseys? It angered me because I picked orange and clear last year.
It angered you? Wow.
Yes, they had blue. I thought that was that was the christen of my Super Bowl prop. I guess you would say portfolio. And they eventually didn't even put it on TV. The broadcast completely screwed that up. But you found out because people saw it on Twitter. People in the stands recorded it, and it was blue. And I'm like, what is Tampa Bay doing with blue? I don't even think blue Gatorade tastes good, Raph.
I agree, and I'm a sucker for betting clear because I always think it's going to be water dumped on it and not a Gatorade. So I'm always a sucker to betting clear. I think it's at 6-1. I can't remember. But I agree. Orange is my favorite on there. Oh, I'm sorry. Purple is my favorite Gatorade. It's 8-1. So I'm not going to lie. I'm a purple fan, but there's no way they're dumping purple. Unless they were the Vikings, then maybe I would have bet purple if it was the Vikings and I like the Vikings to win again. But I agree. Orange at 2-1. It shocks me how many people bet like the Gatorade shot. We have number of Gatorade buckets dumped. Of course, one bucket's for minus 450. 2 buckets, I think, is 3-1. No liquid pour is 3-1. So people will be degenerate on that one. So it's funny. And you can also bet this year we never Gatorade before final whistle. Will it be dumped?
Oh, before final. Yeah, I like that one.
That was one that we all agreed that we haven't had it on our site before, and I don't know if they AKA stole it from another site or whatever, but I thought that was kind of interesting. Will it be dumped before the whistle?
It's at minus 160 right now. Let's play that one before the final whistle. Here's the thing.
Would say yes. I would say yes.
Yeah, I am saying yes.
Yeah.
And because it's plus 120 on the no. Here's the deal. The team doesn't have time after the whistle, really. The coaches come up and he shakes his hand. Everybody crowds in the middle. Imagine carrying a massive Gatorade jar or container out there, having to fight through people just to get it on your coach. Heck, you might get it on a bunch of other people that you weren't intending to do. And the coach is going to see you and run away. You got to do this thing before the whistle. And I have to imagine that's going to happen. And
we probably just jinxed ourselves. This was going to happen. It's 24-24, and someone's getting ready to kick a field goal, but they call timeout to review something. And then the ref says there's going to be 0 time on the clock. And then they kick the field goal, they win, and then they dump them with shower in his nose.
We certainly jinxed ourselves. And yes, if this goes down to the last second here, we are screwed, but I don't think the spread's going to even come into factor like we said before. I think this is going to be a take the knee type situation. I mean, we were blessed in the playoffs to get all those last second finish. I got to tell you that, man.
Yes, I agree. I mean, this playoffs, I know we're talking about props, but this whole NFL playoffs, I mean, you can say, adding let's face it, the wild card weekend, the first one was a train wreck. There was so many blowouts. no close games. But after that, you said it. We were blessed with NFL playoffs because the last 2 weeks of football have been probably some of the best playoff football I have seen in a very, very long time.
100%, man. It certainly was. And I like that one at -160. What else we have here? So you like the MVP prop of Aaron Donald, and that thing kept going down. But I'm gonna go a different angle on this one, and I'm gonna give this one out. And it's a long shot, so it's not like it's a and I'm not sacrificing a ton of money.
Eli Apple.
No, not that long. But it's not. But do you think that history ever repeats itself, Ref?
It does to me all the time.
Well, that's why Von Miller is the correct choice for Super Bowl MVP. Let's look at it this way.
I'll give you a clap on that. I like that. I'll give you a clap on that. I'll give you a soccer clap.
50-1. This ain't plus 750. This is plus 5,000, right? I mean, 50-1 for a bad offensive line. The Bengals ranked 31st in sack percentage adjusted, right? An adjusted sack rate. So that tells me that it's going to be Miller or maybe Floyd, but probably Von Miller that is going to be the star. Now, Aaron Donald is going to take some double teams, and he's going to help Von Miller get open around the edge. If this is that defensive game that Sharps are hitting, obviously early, you said large bets have been played, then that is the smartest way to go, in my opinion. 50-1, buddy.
I would agree. There's probably you could probably ask every odds maker, every casino. There's 3 people that are probably that could be maybe in the minuses for MVP, and it's both quarterbacks and probably Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp is going to be bet a lot for MVP.
I would think if any casino or any sports book or operator, if any of those 3 don't win it, or someone else wins it besides those 3, it's probably going to be a good prop, MVP prop final.
Oh, for sure. Well, hey, man. That's great stuff, but going back to Cooper Kupp, let's pivot to that. I unfortunately don't have a great feeling about a lot of the player props right now, and
agree more.
In the total is throwing me off a little, and the fact that the 2 tight ends are injured, I'm thinking they don't play. I think if it's like Kevin Durant's MCL sprain, it's out 8 weeks. I mean, but I think both of them have the same problem, knees, right?
Yep.
And they just, especially Higbee, it just takes so many targets, and you wonder if they're going to use the backup like they did. He got 5 receptions for 57 yards, or you wonder if it's going to add to the receivers. So that throws me off completely. You look at Cooper Kupp. I mean, if the Bengals don't take out Cooper Kupp, and I know many tried and many can't, but if they allow that shit to happen like the Niners did, which the Niners secondary sucks, then they're already lost this game, right? I can't bet over Cooper Kupp over 100 some yards. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Not saying that it's not going to happen, but I don't want to bet the under either. I mean, Odell Beckham is as high. I like 1, and I have reason for it. And this might be the only over I take out of anything here, because last year I fired a lot faster than I did this year. I like Higgins over 5.5 receptions. Okay. Higbee. Sorry. Not Higbee. What's his name? The Bengals backup receiver. T. Higgins. That's it. I did say it.
T. Higgins.
Over 5.5 receptions. With Uzoma out, they don't seem to trust Drew Sample. When he went out, they went to Drew Sample once. He sucked. He looked terrible out there. And I don't think the Bengals trust him that much, right? He's not going to have that CG. So the possession guy goes to the next biggest guy. And the next biggest guy is T. Higgins. 5.5 receptions, I think, is done. He did that 3 of the last 5 games. Hell, he had 12 receptions one of these games, right? So I love that. But his yardage total is like 70 yards right now. And that seems a bit high, even.
71 and a half now.
Yeah, 71.5. Now, the reason I would possibly have taken that is because I think that Slayton is going to be on or Ramsey. Sorry, I don't want to call him Slayton. Jalen Ramsey is going to be on Jamar Chase. You have to think that, right? They're not going to let Jamar Chase beat the shit out of him like the other teams do. So they're going to put their best corner on him, and that almost makes me want to go him under. But I think if I take him under, and I might, I'll wait till the very last minute for that. Okay. But I think the the T. Higgins over 5.5 receptions. And if you want to take the over also on the yardage, be my guest. I think I'm just going to invest in one side instead of both. I don't want two L's. I mean, if he gets 3 receptions, he's probably not getting 7 yet. I'm just going to take this, but I can see him getting the yards here.
I can see that. I like T. Higgins. I liked how he played last game. And you're 100% correct on the other wide receiver. His route running was horrible. Not just in general, he stinks, but his route running. But I'm a big believer. If you like one team, bet that team prop bets. Well, I don't understand how, unless you see a really bad number. But if I like the Rams, why would I want to bet over on Bengals wide receivers over or the running backs over? Because that means they're having good games and stuff like that. So it's hard for me to separate that when I'm looking at prop bets. I'm not the big in Super Bowl. I'm not the biggest prop better in general because I'm always looking at them all day long. So I don't want to look at them for betting wise for myself because I'm trying to look at them in other ways. I normally will have maybe just a small handful of prop bets. I'm a big point spread proposition guy. If I like one team, then maybe for example, if I like the Rams, then why wouldn't I take the Rams -7.5 and hopefully get a double digit win with the nice plus money, or vice versa with the Bengals. So I kind of like those type of at least for me, that's what kind of prop bets I actually look for.
Absolutely. I mean, the biggest killer of these people that take it overs is a very low scoring game. Everybody goes under then. They're running the clock, but when they're running the clock, they're small chunks of yards. I've seen teams run the clock and the running backs don't even go over. It happens, man. Yep. And that's how quick this NFL clock seems to be a lot faster for some reason the last few years, man. I know they did change some of the out of bounds rules a while back, but still, it's just these teams are playing slow, and you wonder if that's going to be a factor here. So I'm going to be very cautious. To pick a narrative, don't make your bets big. Don't make it like you're risking 30% of your bankroll on props. That'd be a pretty bad day. Enjoy the Super Bowl, right? This is an enjoyment. This is like a national holiday for everybody.
I wish they made it a national holiday on Monday to take the day off. But I always tell people that, I mean, you're going to see it on social media. You're going to see with stuff like that. My Super Bowl game of the year play and stuff like that. This number is where it should be. There's no odds maker error on a Super Bowl and stuff like that. That's what drives me crazy. The number is pretty much, if it was off, we would see 3, 4, 5, 6 difference when you have a 2-week game. Like sometimes you see in bowl games and stuff like that. So that's kind of drives me crazy.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there. You know, it's funny. You just made me think of another prop. The next day is Valentine's Day, Raph. And
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so we need a Valentine's prop here. Will they mention Valentine's Day? Will they mention maybe a great day to call in could be Valentine's Day? Will they over under how many times they mentioned Valentine's Day?
That's what I'm going to do. Over under how many times the announcers announce Valentine's Day. I'm going to actually write that down.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm not sending you a text message right now. I'm just writing me a note.
No. Great. Just make sure you put it, the Kiev O'Neill prop on my bookie over here, and then we'll encourage people to go over because I think it's going to be a big thing that they say.
I will figure out a number and send it in. When it goes live, I will give you credit.
I appreciate it. I cannot wait to see it, man. Well, hey, is there any other prop bets that you want to give out that you think that could hit?
I think some of the people, like I said, I think there's 2 big quarterbacks. One that could be a big-time quarterback if the Bengals decide to build around him. We all know about Joe Burrow. I'm tired of the LSU talk about it. There's other universities that these kids went to, so I'm tired. But I could see him throwing. The plus 140 is very, very intriguing for touchdown passes for him over 2.5. I don't know why. But that plus 140, because it's this kid, you said the offensive line stinks to him. He's always on his back, but for some odd reason, he gets back up and fires away. So I'm not saying bet the house on it. I'm not saying this is a prop bet error, but plus 140 with this kid that seems to picks himself up every time he gets knocked down, and we've seen it. He gets knocked down a lot. Plus 140 would not shock me on that one. Maybe a screen pass, couple of screen passes where he's not getting pressured and stuff like that, or screens or whatever. And then Joe Burrow, over 11 and a half rushing yards. He's probably going to be running from his life. From you said it, your MVP choice, Von Miller and my boy Donald. I could see him quarterback sneaking, getting a little bit more than 11 and a half.
You stole my thunder on that one. That was mine.
Yeah, so I would not be shocked. And those are not 11 and a half yards for a first down. Those are 11 and a half yards not to die on Super Bowl Sunday that he'll be doing.
No, I agree with you 100%. He's gonna run. This is a Super Bowl here. He's running, man, and his receivers are gonna get covered by the Rams defense. The Rams defense is fantastic. It's there is many of opportunities here. Did you say a sack prop? Is there a sack prop here? I didn't find one yet.
Not yet. I know I saw some in one of the queues that I know they're putting it. There's a lot of stuff that's going live today and tomorrow. I did see sack props was one of them. I didn't get to see numbers on over under how many sacks, but that's something I'm looking for a sack prop because I think we're going to see I don't want to say tons of sacks, but I think both quarterbacks will be laying down.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't doubt if the field goal wouldn't be a bad idea either for the first score. That's +1. I hit that every year. Here you go. But I love the over 11 and a half. I took it over 10 and a half when it first opened, Joe Burrow over his rushing yards. And I'm going to go +150 on the first field goal. That the number is correct at +150. I did the calculation 2 years ago, probably. But it's actually +155, I think is correct. But
I like the total field goals made by Cincinnati 2 at +230. What I did see out there, so I would not be
okay.
Even if 3 at 4-1, because you're saying if the Rams defense is really going to be strong in this game, maybe they don't give up touchdowns, they give up field goals.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. I think there's going to be quite a few. Both these kickers are really good, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
We just jinxed them both. Both of them probably missed 2 field goals and extra points, and the final score is 9-6, and they were all touchdowns, not field goals.
It's going to be like Finkel from Pet Detective. Is that it? Laces out or laces out.
That's why I want the Dolphins to be in the Super Bowl, because I want to put how many Pet Detective references will be in the Super Bowl.
Just one of those props you're dying for.
Yes, and it's probably not going to happen.
Absolutely, man. Well, great stuff, Ralph. Is there real quick anything in college that you looked at? Is there college basketball coming up here?
Don't sleep on the Mountain West. Mountain West has been producing some really good games, really good teams. It's a good game. It seems like every time they're on the field, UNLV beats up Colorado State. UNLV finally beats Nevada after, I think, 6 straight losses. Wyoming has a big game against Boise tonight. I've been really enjoying West Coast basketball all of a sudden. Oregon finally turned their season around, playing some good ball over at the Pac-12. So I've been enjoying West Coast basketball. So don't sleep on Mountain West. I know everyone likes to make fun of Mountain West and Pac-12 and sports, but don't sleep on that. And also, don't sleep on NFL Honor Show. I think it's a 10th. I put up Hall of Fame odds for NFL. You can bet on will these guys be elected into the NFL Hall of Fame. So that could be also fun to do when you're watching who gets announced.
Yeah, there's some good ones out there too. I love how you put Devin Hester out there. I really appreciate that one. As a Bears fan, I think he's the best kick returner of all time, but I also can see the NFL doing away with kicks completely at some point. So
that's right. I think he goes into the Hall. I don't think this year, but I think he goes into the Hall just because what you just said. They're going to get rid of punt returning and kickoff returning. So he's going to be that person. That everyone he's my favorite, and I'm not saying he's born and raised in Chicago and stuff like that. I'm not biased on that one, but for what he did for kickoff returns and punt returns and doing one in the Super Bowl that killed us as a prop bet, he's Hall of Fame in my book. Maybe not this year though.
Yeah, absolutely. He's Hall of Fame in my book. I hope it's this year, but I think you're probably right. It's pretty close to -110. You made it though. I think, yeah, awesome stuff, man. Don't sleep on the Mountain West, everyone. Thank you so much for coming on, Raph. Really appreciate your insights, man. I can't wait to get some of your tweets, and when you get that Valentine's prop up, you let me know.
Anytime. Take it easy. Have a great weekend and cash big.